I was recently thinking, basically, of the movie Terminator. Everybody remembers the artificial intelligence and all the robots and all the stuff, but there was a cyber threat that started everything. It was a cyber attack. And that put me thinking there are two main topics or things to take out from this. Number one is that cyber threats are always evolving. And number two is that cybersecurity is a joint endeavor. I could mention other examples from popular culture, but we are not here to basically go through them. The reason we are here is because we consciously or unconsciously know the two previously statements are true, and we want to learn and keep continuous learning the best practices that exist in our world so that we may be prepared for cyber attacks, cyber threats, and we are cyber secure at all possible times. With that in mind, I'm going to present the updated NCSI 3.0, and I hope it will be valuable for all of you. We will go through the results of the previous methodology, the new updated methodology, and we will finish with the demonstration of the website. The previous methodology was launched in 2018. It was updated in 2019, but in the sense that the descriptions of the indicators were updated, nothing big changed in the methodology, and it was finally archived in September of this year. The main takeaways is that basically it had 46 indicators which were grouped in 12 capacities, and in turn these were grouped into 3 categories. And at the end of all these years of effort by the NCSI team, we basically had this illustration of how many countries we had in the index and how it all resulted among the cooperation of all these countries. Basically, the statistics were that during all these years, we received 784 data sets for 177 UN member states and territories. And we, by we I mean the NCSI team, we were not alone. We had 104 country contributors from 90 countries that updated their country's information regularly and kept it so that the NCSI would become a valuable and viable tool for national cybersecurity. And this is some of the examples of all the institutions, both governmental and private, that help us reach these numbers throughout the years. For that, we thank you for your cooperation and your assistance in making the NCSI a tool that we could all use. The updated methodology stems from the same ideals of the previous one, and it's still designed from the analysis of the fundamental cyber threats. That means the denial of e-services, the data integrity breaches, data confidentiality breaches, and other cyber threats. To manage all of these, a country must have the appropriate capacities for strategic, preventive, and responsive cybersecurity capacities. Taking this into consideration and the new existing best practices among the world, the new methodology has now 49 indicators, similarly grouped into 12 capacities and 3 categories. Overall, you can visit the website to see more information and more details about each of the indicators, but going a bit into more detail, the first category would be strategic cybersecurity, and the ones that have the similar sign on the left are the ones that indicators that are similar to the previous ones or to some of the previous ones in the previous index. The ones with check marks on the right are the ones that are completely new. So as you can see, for strategic cybersecurity, we have included cyber diplomacy engagement, commitment to international law in cyberspace, cybersecurity competencies in primary education and in secondary education. We previously had them grouped together, now they're separate. and cybersecurity research and development programs for the national level. The second category includes preventive cybersecurity. Similarly here, we have two indicators that are similar to what we had in the previous index. But for this one, we included new ones, including cybersecurity requirements for cloud services, supply chain cybersecurity, and cybersecurity awareness raising coordination. The last category is responsive cybersecurity. With this, the similar ones include the ratification or ascension to the Convention of Cybercrime investigation capacity, digital forensics, and 24/7 contact point for international cybercrime. However, the new ones include having a cyber incident reporting tool, procedural law provisions, and military cyber doctrine. This doesn't mean that the rest of the indicators have remained the same. No, those that have not been specifically marked in these examples have suffered changes in the criteria or in the accepted evidence. That means that some of them, in most of the cases, have become a bit more stricter in the sense of what kind of evidence we can accept or we can allow for a specific indicator. Regarding the ones that are similar to the previous, they have also been tweaked to respond to the new necessities of the best practices. And the new ones similarly have been all detailed in the methodology in the website. So this and more information about all the specific indicators, we kindly refer you to our website. We will do a live demonstration of the website basically in a couple of minutes. But for those that like something more textual, we have a booklet explaining all of this in the methodology section of our website. And even in the NCSI, all this information about the indicators will be available every time you visit the country page. So I will now pass on to the website, and we will do a small presentation about what we can see or visit on our NCSI website. So to visit it, you just have to go to ncsi.ega.ee. And the first thing that appears to us is basically the Mapamundi, which at the moment contains 20 countries which have been updated with the new methodology. After which, if you scroll down a bit, you will have the section that includes the news, where we post regularly which countries have been updated, what has been the new changes in the index, events, or new publications. And if you continue scrolling down a bit more, you get an explanatory video about how the NCSI will be able to give you assistance or help you in boosting national cybersecurity. Now, the most important changes to the website have been two new tabs at the top. We have the new tab that is the Frequently Asked Questions, or FAQ, and the NCSI 2016-2023. We will first go to the Frequently Asked Questions. This will become a compendium of all the questions that we are being asked by email, that are coming from academia and public and private sources that have shown interest in knowing about the internal dealings of the NCSI, or how to find that specific number, or what was the ranking for a specific country and a specific date. We will try to explain it all here. If it's not explained here, you're always welcome to contact us via email, and we will be able to answer you as well through there. Then we will go to the other tab, which is the NCSI 2016-2023. Here is where we have archived all past information. So the previous index, we archived it, but all the data has not been lost. You can go back and review it and see your country's ranking before the update of this methodology. As you will see here at the top, you will always have a banner that will state that this is archived data, so you will not confuse it with the current index. In this case, the ranking remains as it was archived in the 1st of September of this year. You can still click on any of the countries and scroll up and down to see their index at that time. And when you click on one of these archived countries, you will see again, it has the banner on top that the data is archived, and this is archived data from 2016 to 2023. Nothing was lost. Basically, you can also go back to the previous versions that you can choose a version and see specifically how it or a specific country evolved throughout the years. And the same with comparison. One of the new niftier tricks that is available for both the archived data and the new data is that when you go to the ranking timeline, you can now hover your mouse over the points and see exactly where specific dates when the country's score had changed, either increased or decreased. And that might allow researchers or people who are interested to see how and when specifically the country's index changed. But this is all the old data. We're going back to the initial page, and again, you are able to see at the moment 20 countries because that's how we have started. We will continue updating the countries in the upcoming weeks and months, and we want to achieve the same level of and the same number of countries and territories that we had prior to archiving the data, which was 177. For that, we will continue doing our work. We will also invite you to assist us with this endeavor and collaborate with us and send us the information of your country, or send in corrections if you find that some of the information that we might have found seems to be incorrect. Again, so now let's go to a country page. The layout is still the same. A few items have been changed, and we will now go through them. The first big item, let's say, that has been changed is the IDI, which was stopped by their publishers a couple of years back, if in 2018, if I remember correctly, has now been replaced by the E-Government Development Index. And we've also updated the Global Cybersecurity Index, the E-Government Development Index, and the Network Readiness Index to the most updated values that they have had. The Network Readiness Index, if you might not have known, was recently updated, I believe, in an event last week. So this is fresh and information. Then we have the NCSI fulfillment percentages, which basically has the new capacities in order. It's a summary of what you can see if you scroll down later on the website of this page. And it gives you an overview of, in terms of completion rate, of how the country is doing for any of the specific capacities. You can also see then the NCSI development timeline and the ranking timeline, where you will see how the country's ranking has been changing throughout the time. Given that we've just input this information in the index yesterday, there's not much change, but again, the same capabilities exist in the format that you can click on or hover your mouse over one of the dots and see specifically the date when the ranking changed and the completion rate at that specific point. And then we get on to the information about when the country page was last updated, in this case, 29th of November 2023, yesterday, and the data source. Usually there are three data sources. Public data collection means that it was our internal team or a team of interns that has always helped us to collect information. Government officials means that it was a country contributor volunteer from a specific agency from that country that has been assigned to give us a hand with this. And the third one is cooperation partners. I apologize. Cooperation partners, which means that is a third-party institution that has no ties to the government, but they have been kind enough to give us a hand. Then we go on to the more important information, which is the different indicators. As the countries become updated, you will be able to choose different versions to see what has improved from a country to another, or what has been improving in the same country throughout the years. And then you can always click on the different categories and capacities and indicators themselves to see the information. It will all be revealed for you. So for example, I expanded the indicator number 1.1, high-level cybersecurity leadership. In all the country pages, you will have the same capabilities to expand to see what the criteria is, what the accepted reference means, and what we accept or not accept. And if it has points, it means there is evidence for it. And this will be published next to it, and you will always be able to see what evidence we refer to when we give out the points. The same with all the different indicators. We've added additional macros. One of those is, for example, this one. Some cases, the evidence is provided in a foreign language that's not English. We mark it down so that the visitor of the website knows that that website will either have to be translated by Google Translate, or there is another way that you might have to try to understand the information. Another macro that we have presented, and it will be available, is geo-locked information, because there are some times in which websites are specifically locked for a specific region or time zone, and those can be accessed only in those specific regions or time zones. And it's all expandable. You can always visit it. And we will always try to keep this data up to date with the help of the country contributors and our own team. At the end, you can see two options. If you want to become a data contributor, you can click on the link and then input your information. We will receive your information and then contact you. And if you saw that something was not all right, or there was a small mistake, or something that, let's say, a law was recently amended, and you wish to send us that information, you always can do it by sending us, clicking on the Update a Specific Indicator with Evidence Data choice, and send us this information to us. We will obviously review it, and if it is accepted, it will be published. And another capability is that all of this can be downloaded to PDF here at the top with the PDF option. And the comparing capability is also live. This allows us and any visitor of the website to compare the different countries between themselves and see how they are specifically doing. So let's say we take Estonia and we add another country right here. Its neighbor, Latvia. And this is a bit more technical, but basically the most important thing here to remember is that because we had a change in the methodology, this blue space here represents that change in methodology. So the graph will show you how the ranking has changed of the countries throughout the years. However, and this refers also to the archived data. However, we were not able to separate the ranking, and we preferred for people to see how the ranking has fluctuated throughout the years. So instead, in order to mark this update of methodology, in the ranking timeline graph, the vertical blue square is the marker that indicates the months between September and now November that were used to update the index. Other than that, the capability still remains there, that you can see how the countries can be compared, allowing you to see, let's say, for example, where one country has no points and the other one has points. For example, Latvia has a national cybersecurity strategy. Estonia does not have one at the moment. They are working on it, as far as I know. The National Cybersecurity Strategy Action Plan, similarly, Estonia is working on it, but Latvia has not. And this being a live index, that means that the moment that the Estonian cybersecurity strategy is in place and the action plan also is in place, that information will reach us and we will immediately update this information in the website. And this is all about the website. It still remains the same form. We still have the old sections, which are the methodology section, which we explain everything about the new methodology and how it has been updated. At the bottom of it, as mentioned previously, we have the booklet if you wish to download it and study it in a bit more comprehensive manner, or if you need it for academia purposes and you need to cite something, we highly recommend the booklet. Also explain the data collection procedure for those that become data contributors and they don't just want to be a one-time only data when they send us something to correct. You're able to contact us and what the process in the back end will be and how you will be given access to become a data contributor and what's the website. And also we have the description of the indicators, which is basically also information taken from the booklet, but on the website, if you wish to know more about each specific indicator and the information in the index itself is not enough. Here we've added a new section in which basically we explain what is being measured for each indicator, what is the importance, and what evidence we accept or not. The Services tab takes us back to the EGA website to explain more about the other services that EGA provides. About Us is all about our team, and you're welcome to contact us if you have any questions and comments. And pretty much Index presents all the countries. You can arrange it by ranking, by country, alphabetically or not, by the National Cybersecurity Index value, the digital development value, or the difference between themselves. The digital development value is the average of the e-governance development index and the network readiness indexes together. And the difference is another metric that we have created, and it was in place before. But again, for those that do not know, the difference measures the difference between the e-governance development and the national cybersecurity development. Values in blue means that the national cybersecurity development outpaces the digital development of the country. Values in red means the opposite is true. Basically, development of national cybersecurity should go hand in hand with digital development of the country. It can be better, but it definitely should not be on the contrary, worse or less than the digital development of the country. So this is basically the demo of the website. Again, we thank all country contributors. We exhort all of them to continue collaborating with us so that we can make this new methodology and the new NCSI very accessible, very transparent, and comprehensive tool as it was when we finally had 177 countries and territories. And we hope you visit it and use it to boost your country's national cybersecurity. Or if you want to do research, we highly recommend it because it's a good database from where you can start your research point. Thank you for your time, and I believe we might be taking some questions right now.
Radu, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for walking us through in much detail through the new index. We have had a couple of questions in the workshop, as well as I am curious about a couple of ideas myself. So first, I was wondering, I mean, currently there are not very many countries up there. How did you choose these particular countries that you have updated right now?
Well, since this was a new methodology and everything had to be, let's say, started from scratch, we first reached out to our country contributors, our database of country contributors, and we asked them to help us, given that we are relaunching the index and everything was going to be brand new. And most of the countries that we see right now in the index are those whose countries contributors helped us by sending information. Given that this project also is of Estonian origin, and we received a lot of help throughout the years, Estonia also obviously that we also included Estonia in this index.
Very good. It's good to see, of course, Estonia there, but I noticed there aren't many EU countries, for example. When do you expect to add more EU NATO members to the index? And more generally, when do you expect to update the index in a more meaningful way to have a more richer sort of selection of countries there?
So being a live index, we are constantly doing it, and it's our priority to keep it running constantly. I mean, since it basically started in 2018, we haven't stopped only these last 2 months to update it. But to answer your question, in the upcoming weeks and months, obviously with a break for Christmas and New Year, but we will continue updating it as they come. If we get collaborations from those EU countries or NATO countries themselves, they can also speed things up and give us a boost in that.
So with this, there is a kind of a call to all country contributors who want to volunteer to provide you with more information.
Definitely.
There are a few questions in the workshop, and thank you very much for that. So a specific question, which I will read out to you. How can I find out the data contributor of a specific country?
So data contributors, if there are any, at the bottom of the country's page, they are usually mentioned. In the archive data, they are mentioned, and that has been saved because it's archive data. In the new countries, similarly, at the end of a specific country's page, when you scroll down, if there is a country contributor, it will mention the name of the person and or institution that has helped us with that. It must be reflected, though, this is not a database of contacts, and it should only be taken as data contribution. The person who helped us with the information doesn't mean that that person is a specific contact for cybersecurity in the country.
Thank you very much. And there is one last question now. If I'm a CCB implementer in some partner country and I see that some data regarding a specific partner country is not correct. For instance, the cert is created by law, but in reality has ceased to exist many years ago. Can I let you know about my findings?
Yes, that's actually why we have different ways of contacting us. You can either contact us via the form at the bottom of a country-specific page, which I showed before in the model, or you could go to the contact page and write to us to our individual emails or to the general ncsi@ega.ee email. We are also quite frequently users of most social media, and EGA also has social media accounts, so if you want to, I mean, it's not cyber secure anyway, but you can also try to contact that way as well.
Excellent. Well, Radu, thank you very much. I think one of the key takeaways is that the work is not finished, but you and your team keep on updating countries in the coming months, and we wish you good luck with all the hard work in that.